You are listening to Parking Lot Perspectives with Darin and Evan.
And
back, baby.
Welcome back to Couchside Perspectives.
Couchside Perspectives.
You might notice that we said in our last episode we'd have our neighbor Nate join us, but due to technical difficulties, we are not able to have him.
He's not here today.
He's not here, so we're going to do this episode real quick. This is episode 4
of The Traitors, Season 3.
And we got some feedback that this is, it's only on the Peacock.
Only on the Peacock.
So you do have to subscribe.
You have to subscribe to this, just like anything else, right? We talk about Netflix.
But it's worth it. It's worth it.
We talk about Netflix, Amazon. A lot of people don't really talk about Peacock, but here we are.
Here we are.
The Traitors.
We'll make this episode will be real quick because we're going to get into episode 5 right after this one. So, hey, you want to kick it off? Tell everyone how this episode starts?
I mean, it starts off, right? It picks up right where they left us, right? Mm-hmm. So Gabby witnessed some sounds coming out of the winery or the hidden room.
Hidden room.
And we had an idea, right? Maybe she heard someone or some people, the Traitors. And we kind of start off with that. She kind of, goes into the castle, into the house, and starts saying that who she might think it was. She thought it was Danielle. I think that was the biggest takeaway, that Danielle might be a traitor. But with the start of this episode, the twist was the Traitors had to kill someone in plain sight. They had to put a name in this little RIP coffin thing in the winery room, and they did. They picked 3 people to put into coffins. So then Alan kicks off the episode. We learn who are those 3 people. So it was
Nikki, Sierra,
and Jeremy were the 3 people chosen, and he tells them right then and there to get your butts into that coffin.
And they're going to nail it shut. I will tell you, for a reality show, they do their best to make you feel like an oh crap moment, right? I mean, this is it is kind of morbid when you talk. I mean, they're talking about murdering people and everything, but they put them in coffins and they nail
the claustrophobia.
Yeah, I mean, it was wicked. So
yeah, it was a good start. I think you the music. You said it perfectly. You don't know, but you kind of have that inkling on who is going to be. So then the breakfast happens, and we learn that Jeremy was whacked.
He put a nail in his coffin.
Yeah, and he was pretty emotional. You weren't buying those tears, though. But.
Here's the thing, folks, right? I joke with Evan and his wife, Jan, all the time that these shows aren't real. I mean, every reality show is
reality
scripted.
Show. What are you talking about?
Oh, my God. It's like when you see HGTV and you see Hometown or you see, Buy This House, whatever it is, they're all scripted. But they did a really good job. I mean, my point on this to Evan is the music. You take away the music from the episode, I don't know if you have the same wow factor. I mean,
no.
But this episode, I do want to say, best episode so far.
Oh, without a doubt, I think everyone would agree.
Yep.
The fact that the drama is built up, right? You don't know what's coming, and a lot of twists towards the end of this episode. So where do we leave off?
Lot
from the breakfast?
of twists.
So Jeremy's whacked. His poster gets thrown on the floor by Alan. And then I guess, the drama kind of...
They ensue from there, but I think then it takes over their mission, their challenge is they have to build like Easter Island statues, and they got to go up this very tall hill that's got a steep incline.
Very high
And there's a plateau, a base. They got to bring... The base is there. Now, the key thing here is there's only 10 spots and 18 contestants.
Right.
So they have to bring up the body and then the head, and it's an Easter Island. So I think it's the Malloy or something like that of Easter Island. But so they have to bring up 2 different pieces. And that means 10 people will be safe.
Yeah.
And 8 people are up for elimination.
It causes a lot of, whether there's an alliance forming, right?
Yep.
Who's going to pick whose statue up. Bob, the drag queen, he kind of wanted everyone to discuss, up front rather than fighting at the end. They didn't do that. They kind of fought at the end. But yes, we had witnessed 10 people were saved. Out of that 10, 3 traitors were saved. Boston Rob, Danielle, and Bob the drag queen. But it was very cool to see that challenge. Bob from The Biggest Loser was very emotional on that challenge. You called it out the last episode that he had his heart attack.
Yeah, so he says in the episode he had his heart attack 7 years ago. So that would have been when he was 51 or 52. And he struggles. You can see it. He's struggling to get up the hill to the point where I'm waiting for the paramedics to come in with the helicopter. But he does not. He doesn't hide anything. He's very emotional and he struggles to get up the hill. But lo and behold, the challenge is done, and 10 people are safe, and 8 people are up for elimination. And then you see the master at work.
Well, what caused the master to get at work? It was at the end of this challenge.
That's right.
Do we recall what Bob the drag queen said that set off Boston Rob? Do we know? He pretty much said, why aren't any of the new people, or I'm sorry, why are all the new people picked? Or pretty much putting a target on any of the new people that came in, which is Boston Rob, Wes, and Derek. So that did not sit well with Rob. We'll throw a little segment up. He was aggravated.
Pissed. He was pissed.
Even though he knew it wasn't going to be maybe this week, he was in trouble. He knew that this put a target on his back for the future weeks, which I don't blame him.
I think, but this is why, I told Evan and Janet, because we watched it together, that this is what I thought this series would be, because again, I've never seen these before. This was a wicked good episode, because you saw Boston Rob just manipulate the hell out of people. And I told Evan there's a term that I learned from one of my old CMOs named Frank Hamlin. It's called Nemawashi. And it's if you ever want to get your idea across to a large group, you tell individuals and then you bring it up and they'll do your work for you. And Boston Rob was brilliant.
This is what we're telling you. Jan and I, we love this guy. He's great to watch.
Very good.
Now you're seeing him in motion. It's like a flip of the switch.
What do you say that he is? Carolyn is
good TV.
No, you called it something else. You said he is
She said a legend. He's everything, all right? You don't have to say it. But pretty much this puts Rob in motion, right?
Yes.
He starts really, planting the seeds around the house. He even says it. He is just taking people into rooms. He's telling them, we got to get Bob the drag queen out of here. And everyone's like, really, really? He's like, yeah, he's the one that's pointing, calling all the shots. It was cool to watch. And
because there's other conversations, though. It's not just him, right? Yeah. So you have Wes, the other new guy that came in with Derek and Boston Rob. Wes is like, no, it's Nikki.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, it's Nikki. And so you had one set going towards Bob, the drag queen, one set going towards Nikki, and the other set.
I think it was Derek against Sierra.
Sierra was the other one. It was just like...
Because the biggest thing that we didn't talk about was at the breakfast, they all thought when Jeremy died...
That's right.
That a traitor or traitors were in those coffins.
That's right. They said a traitor has to be in a coffin. But that's not necessarily true. But
they just assumed
They assumed it, yeah.
To, make them look like they're safe or, that they are faithful, so they're going to put themselves in. But, Derek, he was high on Sierra. He said, well, we'll talk about the round table. But wow. A lot of drama across the house.
A lot of drama. The most drama could be, though, in Alan Cumming, his outfit. I mean, I thought it was moss that he was wearing.
No, it was fresh broccoli Rob on him.
We do think it was fresh broccoli. Might have been cut right below the top, but it was so cool.
We'll put an image.
Yeah, it was very good.
It was a cool outfit.
It was a very cool outfit. So then the round table happens. And in true fashion, everybody, Wes comes right out of the gate, says, Nikki, no, he's sitting right next to her. Nikki, I'm just saying I'm going after you. I'm coming for you. And
Nikki didn't like any of that shit.
She didn't like that, and it goes back and forth, but lo and behold, Boston Rob just pipes up.
Everyone, you're missing the point.
Yeah.
And then he just looked. The best edit, I'm going to put it up, was his stare down. He didn't say the name, but the editors, they see Rob's eyes peel right over to Bob, the drag queen.
I think we need to talk about the camera work, because that's one of the key things about the series. And again, Evan's wife Janet and I were talking that if you were not the cameraman, you saw the reactions, you could tell easily who is a traitor, without a doubt. Yeah. I mean, but the camera work, to Evan's point on Boston Rob, he stares down. I got to tell you, I want to play poker with this guy. He is just...
I don't.
Oh, he is very good. He's very good. So they go round and round.
Yeah.
And the best is when Bob the drag queen says, slams the table, I never tell a lie.
Yeah.
I am telling you, I am a faithful.
I swear to God, I have 10 toes down on this floor.
Yeah, that's right.
He was saying.
10 toes down, that's right.
But lo and behold, the votes kept going, and like we thought, right? You had Derek go Sierra's route. You had, I believe, Gabby went with Derek on that to Sierra, and then you had Wes still go with.
But the two shockers.
Yeah. Well.
So, because we give away shockers, we're not holding anything back. So, spoiler alert: Danielle, who's a traitor, says, "I can't vote for Bob the drag queen. He's my ride or die." Can't do it. Can't do it.
She voted for Bob the drag queen.
She voted for him, and it looked like on her board, I'll throw that as well. It looks like she crossed it out or she wiped it off and she put him right. Yeah.
Yeah. And Carolyn voted like the best fake tears in the game, by the way, are Carolyn's.
Well,
I'm just saying.
she's
I'm
good
just
TV,
saying.
but
She's golden TV.
But-
That's what reality gold TV. That's what
but think about this, Darin. What if they didn't side with the table and they voted Sierra?
Yeah, it would have been.
It wouldn't look good.
No, wouldn't look
You
good.
get stuck in
They
these
set
positions.
this up because Evan said Bob the drag queen gets voted off. He does a phenomenal speech. I will say
They all pretty do.
when Tony was when Tony got banished or murdered or whatever, his speech, I mean, he started crying, whatever. But Bob the drag queen, I mean, he did the speech and then he was like,
Are you a faithful or a traitor? Bitch, I'm a traitor. That's not-
bitch, I was lying.
Yeah, I don't believe in God or whatever.
So, needless to say, Bob the drag queen's gone. So the episode really ends up, and what I really appreciate is, again, the different factions that are forming in the house and who's against who. And so Wes, who was one of the new players that came in with Boston Rob and Derek, Wes says, hey, how'd Boston Rob know for 100%? He said, how does somebody know for 100%
Yeah.
if somebody's a traitor?
And they're all like, how?
And Ivar Mountbatten, who's just useless in the show, says, what do you mean? And Wes says, unless you're a traitor.
Yep. This is why Wes is number one on my list still.
I'm still going with Dylan. I'm still going with Dylan Efron. The guy
I think
is
Wes,
awesome.
he's starting to really understand this game.
Yeah,
and
I
his
agree.
challenge you don't watch the challenge. He is a great contestant there. He knows how to play. He knows how to manipulate as well. I think if he figures out Rob early,
Game on.
game on.
So that's our episode for episode 4 of
Episode
Traitors.
4 of Traitors.
Early see our episode 5. Don't know what's going to happen there. We haven't seen it yet.
Any
But,
idea? Who did we think's coming? Who's going to get banished?
Oh, good call, because Jana did say we should say that every episode. So who do you
Good
think?
call, Jana.
Who do you think is going to go?
I still think they're going to go the Sierra route, or maybe even Nikki.
I'm going to say Bob Harper. Bob, who had
Really?
the heart attack. I think he's going to go.
Okay.
The way he went up the stairs and the way he gave away, yeah, I think Bob Harper's next to go.
All right.
All right, so
Yes.
don't forget to follow us, like, subscribe,
Please
tell
do.
all your friends.
We hit 80, Darin.
We hit 80. Get out.
80
Hey,
subscribers.
I got to say, Artie, you got some people up there. Longshoremen's Union. Come on, get some people brought into this. Ryan, Patrick. Who's the other brother?
We have Tyler, Darin.
Tyler. Why don't we get Tyler? Get a bunch of people to subscribe.
We got him. We got them all.
I got to stop strong-arming people. Anyways, take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. And we're back now on episode 5 of Traitors. On
Traders, episode 5.
the Peacock Network, thanks to Evan and Jana, who have allowed us to utilize their account. So, last episode was kind of wicked, and it was a really great episode.
Yeah,
episode 4. Episode 5, just to give you a heads up, just a little different. A little different.
It was a filler.
Yeah, great call.
Maybe.
This was not reality TV gold, as Jana, Evan's wife, likes to call it. It was just, it was a good episode.
Yes.
But why don't you set everybody up? Tell them how it all kicked off.
So it opened up with Rob and the Traitors were talking, right? Because they need to decide on who to banish that night. But of course, the drama unfolded with Danielle and Carolyn not happy with Boston Rob.
Not
or Boston
happy at all.
Bob.
Boston Rob was not making friends. He put a target on his back. I think he put a big target on his back.
Yes, he was threatened. He probably could have waited a little bit. It seemed like they were even on board when he was talking to them last episode.
In the cupola where they're doing everything, yeah, it sounds like they were all on board. Then as soon as it happened, they were not.
They were not happy about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they explained it. And one thing we didn't call it last episode, or in the last episode, was there were shields in that game, right? So
Yeah, there was 10 shields. People had 10 shields. This episode, though,
oh yeah, we'll get into that.
we'll get into that. It's a little bit different. It ain't 10.
It was 2.
Yeah.
But yes, we come to the breakfast, and lo and behold, Robin gets whacked on this episode. I kind of like where this was going in the editing, right? Rob was really pushing for another housewife, I think.
Yeah, and I think just to reiterate, so Bob the drag queen was let go previous episodes, so that was emotional and it was great. He was phenomenal. I think Robin was supposed to be gone like 2 or 3 episodes in. I mean, it just feels like she's been on the chopping block forever.
Yeah, she was on to a lot of people in the
Yeah.
beginning, or
Yep.
try to
So-
stir up the drama. So
Her going away. But again, I'm going to point out the camera work in this. If they must have it like 100 cameras in this castle in Scotland where they're filming this thing, because they get reactions of everybody.
a lot of
And
money
again,
invested.
when to Evan's point, when they come in for the breakfast and you see that Robin's gone, if you were to just look at the reactions of everyone, you'd know who's a traitor.
Yeah,
Danielle can't hide crap.
no.
So
But I will say Danielle and Carolyn weren't too thrilled to pick Robin, it seemed like. I think Rob, again, you're seeing it firsthand for someone who's never seen his gameplay, manipulative.
He's a master manipulator.
Yeah. But what else? What else took place?
What else?
So after the breakfast.
after the breakfast, the big thing was we said at the end of last episode that Wes had told Ivar and I think Sam
yeah.
that how would you know a traitor? How would a traitor know that, or how would somebody know that someone's 100% a traitor? And he said, if you're a traitor. And Ivar tells that
To Boston Rob.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like that. We were just talking about his gameplay and like, what does he do? And what does this guy do? He tells Rob.
Ivar Maltbatten is just a wasted character in this show. That's
He
all
just
I'm saying.
seems like a weak link, and he went to Rob for.
Rob went right to Wes. He
Wow.
confronted Wes.
Well, yeah.
And Wes lied through his teeth.
Yeah,
And I think Boston Rob saw that. I think that was pretty clear.
yeah. I just not a fan of his gameplay. Rob, on the other hand, doesn't take any risks. The guy just will pull you to the side like you're gonna get whacked in real life.
Yep.
So very cool to see. But then we have the game. The game this episode. Again, we're not fans of these games on this show.
But I will say they're growing on me.
Are they?
Yeah, a little bit. This one was actually riddles. You had to solve a riddle. They were in a church, and you had two shelves on either side with a bunch of urns.
Yeah.
And the answer to the riddle was in the urn. And you had, if you smashed it, it was gold glitter. It was correct. And you put more money in the pot, which
Yeah,
goes
there was
on
like
top.
2,500
Yeah,
each time.
you get more money on top. So that was kind of cool. But if you missed it, you were out. But there was only 2 medals to be given away for people to be safe.
Yes.
That was
Two
I mean,
shields,
think
two
about it.
shields.
Episode 4, there was 10 shields. This episode, there's 2.
I don't know how they come up
So
with that.
yeah, it opened up for a lot. So
And who got the shields again?
shields were Sierra and Dolores from
Dolores.
the Housewives.
Okay.
And
And before we end the game, talking about the game, I did not like Danielle's performance in this game. She just kept digging herself into a hole.
Yeah.
Not saving herself once, not twice. I think 3 times she won.
yeah,
She
I'm
didn't
not a
save
Traitors. This is my first season of ever watching Traitors, and I will tell you that she's a loon. I think she just.
But you thought Carolyn was a loon.
Carolyn's a loon as
But
well.
she's
but
playing
we'll
a
get there in
better
second.
traitor.
Yeah, we'll get there in a second.
She's a way better traitor than
Yeah.
Danielle.
So the game ends, and then we do we go back into the talking of, hey, what's going to happen? Who are we going to vote for?
yes.
And again, the different factions hook up, and I think at the end, you said Nikki was probably going to be gone at the end of last episode, right? And
Yeah.
I said Bob Harper.
Yeah, because I was, I think the team, the people that are teaming up still think someone was in that coffin, was a traitor, and Sierra, was it Sierra?
in the coffin. Yes.
Yes, it was Sierra and Nikki. Couldn't say her name. Nikki. We'll edit that. Sierra and Nikki. We're in the
In the coffin.
in the coffin.
He's beating that.
Wow.
He's beating that to a dead point. So the bottom line is the round table starts, and lo and behold, it's all geared towards Nikki, right? I mean, everybody just that was to Evan's point. Evan says, it's got to be hard if you're accused. You're not the bad person,
What do you say?
right?
I mean, you can only say so much, and her final words didn't really do her any justice. She's like, just do it.
Do it, yeah. Do what you need to do. Be who you are.
I am who I am.
Yeah, she.
Okay, well, you're a traitor to everyone. So.
Yeah, so she got voted off, and of course, she tells everyone, "Hey, I'm a faithful," and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh!"
Crying, a lot of
And-
crying this episode.
Yeah, lot of crying. Yeah, it's a reality TV show that's scripted, for God's sake. But there's a lot.
Stop
of crying.
hating on the traitors. We need the sponsorship.
Okay, so Nikki goes, and everyone's like, "Oh wow!" But the ending of this episode went batshit crazy because
Carolyn gets called out by Danielle.
Dylan meets up with Carolyn, I think, at the bar and says, "Hey, I just want to let you know that Danielle threw your name out there." And Carolyn, in reality gold TV fashion, says, "What?" and just starts freaking out. So at the end of the episode, they go into the cupola where all three traitors meet, and they just look at each other like knives coming out.
Yeah. Again, Danielle is just not a good player. Because Carolyn, I think she was going to go the Boston Rob route with Danielle. If Danielle played her cards right, she would have had Carolyn on her side. And then, of course, they have a lot of people going against Boston Rob. It would have been an easy sweep.
Yep.
And they could have done the dual action there, and they did not do that.
So with that episode, we know Nikki's gone. Today is playoff Sunday that we're watching. Evan's Eagles are really playing, so he's excited to watch.
Not an Eagles fan.
Oh, he's not an Eagles fan. Oh, I just saw Saquon Barkley score, so you were pretty excited.
Yeah, he ran for like 60 yards.
Excellent. So with that, we're gonna come back. Every Thursday is the episode, right?
Every Thursday is the episode. We missed it. We're doing a double feature here again because I was on a cruise. I'm back. Maybe we'll have some more special guests. Maybe Nate will show up. Maybe Jana will be on the couch again. I don't know.
That's right. But don't forget to click like, subscribe, or follow us. Tell your friends. We want to get to 100 subscribers by
almost there.
By the end of January. We've only got a few days left to get there.
That's a
Let's
big
push that goal. But hey, who's going to go off next week? Who's your guest? You were right last week. You said Nikki.
I'm thinking it's going to be Danielle.
I'm going to go with...
going to get whacked somehow.
I think
either by Rob or someone's going to...
I think we're going after Ivor because he's just useless in this game.
Okay.
So,
Ivor, you really hate this guy.
With that, don't forget to tune in to Couchside Perspectives next time. And we will talk at y'all soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.